found us. More podcast, where we want you to know God more deeply, find lasting freedom, discover your destiny and make an eternal difference. Now.
I think we found us, because I was lost for a week. You were lost for a week.
Yeah, we've been a little sporadic.
We found us finally, which is good. We've all kind of had moments where we've gone off. You were in Florida, right? What was it? You went to, it was interesting. You shared the story that you went to Weeki Wachee for the first time.
Right.
Which is Weeki Wachee.
It's a Florida State Park now, but it's a mermaid show from
real mermaids
from the 1947.
Oh yeah,
real living
real
mermaids.
Life mermaids.
Yeah, and you go down in this theater and it's like a giant aquarium.
Yeah,
and these women swim down and they have these tubes that they can breathe out of. And
really?
They stay down underwater for minutes at a time.
Yeah,
they'll just breathe out of this tube and.
They have to train hard for this because
18 months
of
training to be able to be certified to go down as a mermaid.
Because you got to imagine that you take a deep breath, and then you're doing all these things. Yeah,
and they were good 15 to 20 feet deep.
Yeah,
and it was kind of interesting. There was a certain point whenever they would swim below this point, you would see them pressurize themselves.
Sure,
everybody did it. So I don't know.
Yeah,
what that was about.
Wow. It's cool to watch them, to imagine these people that can do all this acrobatic stuff in there. But at the same time, it's like you're underwater.
Yeah, that's
flipping around.
No, they can drink a Coke while underwater.
Oh, really?
They can eat food while underwater.
Weird.
That is nuts.
They got to keep the magic alive. Right? Yeah. But
so that's where we're at. It was
nice.
Good.
Yeah, it's a good time. And that water is beautiful, though. I mean, it's super blue and clear.
Yeah, it's like drinkable. You can just drink it coming right out of the water.
Really?
It's a giant spring that kicks out like 1 million gallons a day or something like that.
What's the name of it again?
Weeki Wachee. Yeah, Weeki Wachee.
Wachee.
Buffett sang a song about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I think they even played it at the show at some point. The song that he wrote. Yeah.
Really?
And he talks about the mermaids. And then if you go to, is he still alive?
Jimmy Buffett?
Yeah.
No. I don't think so.
I was never a big Jimmy Buffett.
I was not either, but I mean, the mermaid song is a big popular song, and he did it. Yeah.
Well, didn't he have like a song, like a cheeseburger song?
Cheeseburger in Paradise.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Cheeseburger. We used to do that with keel haulers.
Yeah. There you go.
We used to do a lot of Buffett songs with the keel haulers.
I can imagine.
Yeah. Okay, so do you wonder why you take the time each week to listen to the More podcast? I'll tell you why. More stands for maximizing opportunities for right now and eternity. Stop asking why you listen. Just never forget to listen and pass it on. And you can tell your friends now that we're back on the air, we'll be here for a little bit until whatever else happens again.
We move again.
Yeah, we move again. People decide to take time off. There's a lot of things that happen. But that's okay.
We're in.
That's okay. We're in.
Yeah, we're in.
Well, this show is sponsored again by Bombas. Today's show is sponsored by Bombas Socks. Bombas has generously given us over 70,000 pairs of socks to share with people in need right here in our communities. For every pair you purchase online at bombas.com, they donate a pair to someone who needs the safety, comfort, and dignity that a great pair of socks
We
provides.
appreciate you, Bombas.
We do.
Good job,
And
good work.
We've got so many socks that we keep giving away, and I just went out there to look what I had. I have a few boxes left, but
Hunter, has your family gotten their socks yet? Wearing them.
he's wearing them.
Good.
Yeah,
Finally got some.
You're official.
you are official Harbor Lighter.
I'm in.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
think I've been wearing Bomba socks for 2 years.
All right, good. That's good.
Every time I come and guest preach, I get a stack.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Wait till you go to a Christmas party and you're in somebody's living room and every person has those socks on. That's so funny.
Nothing like a fresh pair of Bombas.
That's right.
all I
Yeah.
gotta say.
And the Christmas parties, you get another free pair of
That's
bombers.
right.
Yeah.
And it's you're from, tell me you're from Harbor Light without telling me you're from Harbor Light. And then it's show me your socks.
Yeah. We go to small group and you just look around the circle and every single person has them on. So.
It's all Bombas, yeah.
It's awesome.
This is great. Yeah. So Bombas are our staple here at Harbor Light, but we also love to give them away to people that need it. So next time you're looking for a pair of socks, head over to bombas.com. Not only will you get some of the most comfortable socks out there, you'll also be helping someone else in the process. And it is really cool. They just sent me a text saying that they got the new holiday season socks out. So,
All right.
yeah, there's a lot of good socks out there. They're expensive, like $27 for a packet.
But you're buying two.
You're buying two, and
Just
then
think of it that way.
And then you give a
Yep.
pair of socks to somebody else. So
Right.
it's a good thing. So Bombas, we're happy to have them as one of our sponsors. And I mean, I just look at that number, 70,000 pairs of socks. I mean, can you even imagine that? It's just it just blows my mind. But that's awesome. Well, we're gonna take an ID break, come back with introductions because we have somebody in the studio with us today that we haven't had in a while. Well, usually
We've
he's on
been
the phone.
Usually on the phone.
Usually on the
That's
phone,
true.
and now he's
But now
in
we get
studio.
him in person.
That's right.
That's right.
No more
Moving
phone
forward,
calls.
he should be around this
He should
table
be
every week.
Yeah, he should be
All
here,
right.
and he is got his own mic, and he's one of the guys. Now.
Mic and headphones.
Mic and headphones. So we'll be right back.
Your day is about to get better. How do we know? Because you pressed play on the More podcast. You're welcome. We will be right back.
You're giving me the look.
But it's funny because Pastor Hunter is the only guy with a Bible at the table.
I know. All the pastors are sitting here, and the only pastor that has a Bible is Hunter. Yeah.
The spiritual guy.
I thought it
He's
was a
ready to go.
church podcast.
Hey.
Oh, we wing it. We wing it. We come up with our own versions of text and all kinds of stuff in here. So, well, he's got one headset for calling plays and another for calling worship. On Friday nights, he's shouting, "Move the chains." On Sunday, it's "Break every chain." Either way, someone's getting fired up. Pastor Ted is here with
Hey,
us.
I like that one. Yep. And he once benched a deacon for low spiritual production in fantasy or faith. He always is looking for who's bringing their best game on Sunday. Pastor Gary.
That's right.
Woo, woo.
And, well, over to my right, he loves two things, pastoring and Marvel movies. One minute he's quoting Paul, the next he's quoting Captain America. Basically, his sermons have both altar calls and post-credit scenes. Pastor Hunter is here.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
And of course, the man sitting across the way
Right here.
who has all of the talent, knows what every button and knob does. He is also every NFL player's favorite fantasy ministry league pastor, Alex Norton.
Hey, there you go. Yeah.
That's
He
true.
will, his cardigan collection will also rival that of Mr. Rogers.
Yeah.
And this happens to be a new one. I got
That's
it
a
on
nice- nice one,
I got
buddy.
it at Old Navy when we were on our
Nice.
trip. Yeah.
I like a cardigan.
I love cardigans.
Yeah, it's comfy and warm and
I
dressed
fell
up.
in love with them when certain show was on the air, but
Yeah.
you know what I'm talking about?
It's comfort, warm,
not
and
Mr.
just
Rogers.
The
screams you
Cosbys.
can cuddle
Cosby's
me.
okay.
Yeah,
That's
I know.
right.
Give me a hug. I'm like a grandpa. I'm a grandpa mode 24/7.
I think Grandpa mode. I think Grandpa look is in right now. Though.
It
I
is.
think it's a thing. So you're doing great, buddy.
Well, and we
Fashion forward.
are up here in northern Michigan where
Yep.
we
It's
go
cold.
from 84 to 34.
Boy, it was freezing today.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I'm still cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't stop,
Yep.
I don't know. Did you guys see the fog coming in?
Yeah.
Oh, my
That's
gosh.
pretty cool.
It was
I
good,
kinda
but you
like
can't
it.
see Jack Squat coming in.
No,
I mean, it
yeah,
was just
that's
like,
the mood for sure. Of
Yeah.
like, this is a dreary day.
I don't know. I was driving and I'm like, the people that don't turn their lights on during fog, I just
what
want to
they're
get out of
thinking.
my car and say, listen here, I'm giving
Don't
you a
get
ticket.
out of your car. They can't.
I want to give you a ticket. No, I
the
want
lights
to. I want to
on.
go police on them because I'm like, why would you drive in the thick fog with no lights on and you can't see?
Okay.
anybody? Yeah.
Can I just share this?
Yeah.
I saw this the other day. Speaking of like, wanting to give a ticket, and not being a police officer. I saw this video of this guy. He, like how police do those like ride along programs for like, you could like be a citizen and ride along. And this guy was really fired up. He's like,
The guy that was riding?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, I want to see some action today. It's like, he goes, you deputized me today. And he's like, then the officer was like, let's get one thing clear. You are not a police officer, right? So he goes, all right, we're going to pull this guy over. So he pulls him over for speeding. And the cop walks up and then comes back to the car after he gets the ID from the driver.
Yeah.
And the guy, they didn't do a background check on this guy or whatever. The ride-along guy had pulled a firearm out. And the police officer, he's got his body cam thing
Yeah,
on.
right, yeah.
Quickly is like, drop the weapon. No, you are not. I'm like, how do you not background
Right.
check? Yeah. It's like, this is a crazy guy.
Sure.
Oh,
What is
my
this,
God.
Dwight Schrute?
I got
Yeah, right.
Like, citizens arrest here
Just from
for
the
real.
office?
He's like, I'm deputized.
Oh man, I wanted to see some action today. He said, "Yeah, I got your back. I got your six." And it was just
Put it away.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Oh, wow.
Yep. Sorry. Just saw that.
No, that would
was like,
be that'd be interesting. I don't know.
Oh man.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Guy just didn't use his blinker.
Yeah, right. He's like,
Exactly.
get out of the car right now.
Yeah. It is. It's like that. It's like that thing. I'm sure police officers have that like entrance exam. That's like, are you dying to be a police officer? Are you dying
Red
to pull
flag.
a weapon? Don't do that. It's like
Red
security
flag.
team.
Right, yeah.
At church. Are you dying to be on this team? Yes. Probably shouldn't be.
That's
You know
what we
I mean?
need. We
Right.
need a Dwight Schrute
Yeah,
on our
right.
security team at the church. We need somebody like that. Just one person like
Yeah.
that.
I rebuke that.
I don't know. Have you seen those guys that they pull them over and they're like wanting to get their license and stuff? And they're like, "This is my country."
Yeah, it's sovereign citizen.
Sovereign citizen,
And they'll be
yeah.
like, I'm traveling. I'm not driving.
Right.
And I can I'm free to walk from one place to the other. Yeah.
And I just those
are
police
rough.
officers have a lot of patience in those
Oh,
situations
boy.
because you just want to grab them by the neck, and say, "Give me your license and get out of the car."
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's why I'm not a cop because my ability to not be frustrated quickly would not.
I agree.
I would lose it.
Also, you couldn't wear those cardigans all the
I
time.
could not wear the
You could
cardigan.
not, no.
They don't have cardigans as a police officer. So, yeah. Well, we're going to come back with some interesting things that have popped up on the news, and we're going to have a little discussion about it. I always like to bring these up because I like to stump Pastor Gary because he's like, "What? Where do you get this stuff?" It's in the news. It's everywhere.
Live from an undisclosed location somewhere under the church fellowship hall, possibly near the coffee pot, it's Gary, Ted, and Alex with more podcasts. Stay tuned for more.
Well, in Tualatin, Oregon, and maybe that's how you say it, fall traditions are taken a little literally. While most folks carve their pumpkins for the porch, others prefer to climb inside theirs.
Oh yeah.
And so they're buying or making these boats out of massive pumpkins that they're getting.
Okay.
And they spend the whole competition is basically they got these pumpkins in front of people and then they take them out in the water and see how far they can float. And then if they can float, then they do a race with them. And you can see anybody from Buddy the Elfin one to Squid Games, if you know what that is. And they just love to watch these pumpkins fly down the water.
Huh.
Again, we're talking about Oregon.
Yeah.
The weirdest state in the United States.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know. But these pumpkins are massive. Some of them are just, 4 or 5
Pumpkins
feet
float,
wide.
right?
Yeah. Some of them did.
You hollow out a pumpkin.
If you watch the video, some of them did, and some of them sank.
I think if I got in that pumpkin, it would sink. I don't think that thing's floating.
I don't. What is their weight
That'd be a
restriction?
big old pumpkin.
on this. Yeah. Well, what
Can I have the extra large pumpkin,
the
please?
buoyancy though? Like if you get down to a certain line, the water starts coming
Yeah.
in the pumpkin. You're in trouble.
boy.
You're done.
So so you got to hope that you're above the water far enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean maybe it's something we could bring to Northern Michigan. We need something
That
crazy
could be a
up there.
Harvest Fest activity.
That's a great idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pumpkin.
Like a little lazy river, and you ride around a pumpkin in it.
We need to put ourselves on the map with something
Yeah,
already.
that'd be fun.
Harbor Light needs to be known for something weird.
Yeah.
The pumpkin regatta.
That's it.
Yeah, and
We're
let's
stealing
just-
this.
Let's
That'd be good.
Let's get some large. I saw some large pumpkins over at Pond Hill.
Oh, yeah?
Have you guys been out there? Mm-mm. Oh, that's something you need to
Are they
take
big
your
enough to be a boat?
family. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one that they had sitting out there.
You should pitch this to Chelsea super
Yeah.
seriously.
Yeah, the pumpkin regatta.
Pumpkin regatta.
Have people get into these pumpkins, and
It's like the love boat, but the pumpkin boat.
right. Well, I mean, just think Dad get involved because he wants to gut the thing. So it's a family thing.
Yeah.
and then just
it'd be great.
put your light kids
That's a
in
great
there.
idea, Pastor Alex.
I think we should do that. So so this is one of the things that you can do. I don't know if you guys have seen this though. In Australia, there was this video going around of this mom holding this massive 33-pound baby, and people are like, "This is AI. This has got to be AI," because the kid is like over half her size in length. And so the New York Times did an investigation on this and found out that this woman actually exists, and the baby actually exists. It's a 33-pound baby.
How old's
that
the
is
baby?
19 months old.
Oh boy.
Can you imagine? I mean, 33-pound
old
baby.
baby.
That'd be almost as tall as certain people around this table.
So I
won't
looked it
mention
up.
names.
The
Yeah.
world record.
Hey.
The world record birth weight is 22 pounds.
Really?
Yeah.
Woof.
And this woman, I think, is at 19.
The baby was born at 22 pounds.
Born at 22 pounds.
Yes.
And this is 19 months and,
Jeez,
and 33
Louise.
pounds. Yeah. Well, the woman is 5'6", and her husband is 6'2".
Which is tall.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty tall. So some of us are like dog ears, like inches. You know, we could use meters, and then nobody knows what we're talking about. Yeah. So I mean, this kid is massive for the size. And then another one here. There's another chunky toddler that made headlines too, weighing at 22 pounds at 4 months, and then another hitting 30 pounds at 11 months.
That's
These
crazy.
are not CGI AI generated. These are like real babies. So basically, the reason why I brought this article to our table is because Ted, I think the Nephilim are making a comeback.
I think so, man.
I think they are.
Jeez.
I think we have giants among
big
us.
old babies.
How in the world do you, like, as a mom, take care of a child that is that big?
Are they measuring in pounds in Australia?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just wondering, can we get them signed early for the Lions?
That's
Right,
what,
yeah, right.
Wasn't
Right?
there like a thing? That
Can we
was
draft
like,
them now?
Get them now.
For
Yeah.
real. I saw a thing that was like, they posted about this or whatever online, and it was like NFL teams that were like, they would like comment on that and be like, dibs.
Yeah.
Or like, we'll see you in 2052 or whatever.
Yeah,
the
right,
draft is or whatever.
Did I hear somebody mention football? Somebody
yeah, we did.
mention football. I said, did you guys watch the Lions game?
Oh boy.
Gibbs.
Boy.
Wow.
What was it 76 yards?
76 or 78. Yeah.
Yeah, 76 yards run. And
Longest run in 5 years. Or something,
yeah,
right?
and he is now tied with Sanders for the most yards.
Really?
Yeah, he's
go,
got the rest of
Gibbs.
the season yet, so he's going to blow it out of the water.
Yeah.
So Sanders is going to have to give up his claim to fame with the Lions.
Man.
Gibbs just blew it out of the water.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Pretty amazing.
So
Super fun.
I just heard somebody mention football, and I thought I'd just throw that.
Sure.
out there.
Did you hear the Jared Goff interview where they were like, Gibbs has the
Yeah.
first two
Yeah.
like fastest runs, and he's like, I'm 3, right?
Yeah, it was funny is that they actually ran in the game, and the team the Buccaneers are so shocked because that is not normal for him to do that. Like they didn't know what to do, and so they're scattering around trying to figure out like what's happening right
What's
now.
he doing? I
Yeah,
thought
and
he couldn't do
he had an open green just to run.
He has the legs
Yeah.
of a fawn.
Right. Yes.
Arm of a robot, but
Yeah,
the
right.
legs of a fawn. I've never seen anything
Go
like
Goff,
it.
go! He runs like Forrest Gump. That's
He
what
does.
he does. Yeah.
I've never seen somebody like as he's speeding up, he's really slowing down because somehow the linemen are faster than him.
Yeah.
And then the best part is he's trying to work on a slide.
Sure.
And it is not good.
You
It
need
looks-
speed to slide.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
If not, you
kind of like
if
falls
not,
down.
you just sit down.
Crumbling. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's just so funny because
Graceful
the
falling.
tackling players are like, do I touch him? Or, they're like all so confused.
Yeah,
and it was just so funny. The
Yeah.
commentators like, this is the best. Like nobody knows what to do with him because they're expecting him to throw it because he normally does not run for anything.
Right.
And he doesn't throw it. He runs for the first down.
Yeah. Super fun.
We'll get into that. But because we got fantasy football.
We do.
Yeah, coming up.
Hey, so you were talking about this just struck a chord with
Did
me.
I mention
This
something
kind
about football that
No,
you-
this
no.
was like the conversion thing from like meters to.
Oh,
whatever.
yeah. It doesn't
So
make
I
any
was in
sense.
Canada yesterday with my brother putting the boat away, and we're gonna go look at a side by side for the cabin. And we were in Canada
Yeah.
because you want them to deliver it to the thing. You don't want to like get it across the bridge and all that stuff. So we're talking to this Canadian sales guy. And he's like, that'll be $40,000, and we're like, and it's Canadian, and so we're like in our minds we're like, I know what that is, but can
Yeah.
you explain to me
Right, yeah, right, yeah.
what that means?
What's the exchange rate?
Like, we're like, and we felt never like dumber Americans.
Oh, yeah.
And he's talking about liters instead of gallons for like what the thing will get. And we're like, can you explain to me, like in dumb American, what you're speaking about right now? Because I don't have a clue. And he
know,
was like,
yeah.
don't worry about it. I do this all the time,
He goes, we get Americans up here all the time.
Right. Yeah.
We know.
You are smarter than I. I'm willing to say that. Can you explain to me? Because I don't know.
The metric system doesn't make sense to anybody.
No. Well,
That's what I'm saying.
Makes sense to the rest of the world, I think, other than us.
Does it? Does it really? Because when they talk about it, it's like, what?
Yeah,
You
but
know.
that's you. I think they know, don't they?
I hope, but I just don't. I think metric system is a conspiracy
Sorry, that was my
theory.
tangent, but I was reminded of that. I was like, yesterday, man, I was like, in Sioux, Canada, talking to this guy going, I have no idea what you're saying right now.
Well, I thank God because when I was in school, every president was talking about like converting to the metric system.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy they didn't because I would
To
be
relearn
lost.
that'd be hard. Yep.
I'd be lost. I have a tape measure that has metric and inches, and I'm like, what are we doing? What is this? What are these other numbers on my tape measure?
Sure.
All right, we're gonna take an ID break. Come back with fantasy football breakdown with Pastor Ted. And
just getting it pulled up here, boys.
We know that at least one of us around the table is still kind of steamy about a loss.
Should we mention that one, Peach?
I just want to say that my game against John Walker was 1 point difference. I lost by a point.
That's pretty crazy.
He only beat me by a point.
Yeah, and it was like he didn't have anybody. He didn't have anybody left.
Tied for. Well, we'll get into it here.
Yeah. Okay. We'll be right back.
Binge the More podcast. It's calorie-free, sugar-free, and yet somehow still leaves you spiritually stuffed. So, get your stretchy pants on because we have more.
I got your music going there.
All right.
Here we go.
Well, here's your fantasy football corner.
There we go.
Harbor Light Sunday Fun Day League. It was quite the weekend, wasn't it, Pastor Gary?
It sure was, Pastor Ted. I'm sure you enjoyed it.
So, if you can't pick up on that, we
There's
played.
a lot of sarcasm.
We played.
It was Pastor Ted
played.
versus Jesus is him.
That's right. That's right. So, Pastor Gary, you were texting me like on Thursday going,
Yes.
this is bad news.
This is
I'm
not
like,
good.
And I was trying to be a gracious friend and going, you got time, man. We haven't even played yet. I think it was 165 to 90 or something by the end of
93,
it.
I think.
Oh my gosh.
I
Two
got
running
crushed.
backs combined for 8 points for you.
My two running backs combined for 35 yards.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Well, it was the effort that counted.
And I had Gibbs, who had 3 touchdowns. He had 30 points, And I think
you
it
got
was
a hot player.
I
That's
was
what you
already
did.
like 20 points up before my quarterback had even played.
Right.
And so it wasn't good. It wasn't a good showing. There's always next week, right?
That's right.
Always next week.
Oh,
so
that
our
doesn't make him feel any better,
Our
though,
standings
yeah.
right now, we got to get a pretty competitive league. James Walker, the Jesus Juke, sits at 1 at 6-1.
We need to bring him
And
down.
here's the deal. I play James this weekend.
Okay.
And I am tied for second place. Enormous weekend in fantasy football, guys.
Well, yeah, but
enormous.
good luck with that.
James and I play. I sit at 5-2, along with John Walker. So if I win, I am going to be tied for first place.
Really?
That's going to happen. Yep. And so John and I sit at 5-2 for tied for second place. AJ and Brad and Pastor Gary are all in third place, 4-3. Neil is sitting at 3-4, and then Theo and Alex, Pastor Alex here, are 2-5. It is a competitive league. We were just saying this yesterday. We're halfway through the season.
Yeah.
If you go on a tear, you're going to make the playoffs. All you have to do is get in.
Just get in
You got to
once.
get in the playoff. That's all good. So we're doing the deal. And then James Good. I think he's the standby. Every league has him not checking
Right.
the app guy, so he's
Sure.
0-7.
He's an easy win.
That's the
Makes everybody feel better.
absolutely.
Right.
You get a win that
You
week.
get if you get a win against them, you're
James,
fine.
we love
Yeah.
you. Thanks for
Yeah.
being a part.
Do I get to play him again? I mean, so I can actually
you
get in
one
the
time.
playoffs.
Yeah, no.
Dang,
that's all right.
you were praying though.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. That was
So it's a competitive league. We still got a competitive league. The back half, you need a win. You're
Yeah.
dying for a win here, Pastor Alex.
I am.
A lot of
Theo, you're dying for a win this weekend. So
Yep.
but first to third place.
and I'm playing
Lots of
Brad
ties.
this week.
Yeah, and he wants a win too.
Yeah,
For
and Brad
sure.
he's got a good lineup.
Yep.
So,
no,
I
it's
don't know,
been
we'll see.
fun. So we're plugging along here. We'll keep you updated on the More podcast here. We got a fun trophy that we're gonna. It's always
That trophy is huge.
It's a great trophy, and you certainly want your name on it the first year we've ever done it.
You do.
So,
You do. That makes it special.
yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
and it's going to sit in the green room, and then everybody can see it.
That's right.
And, you can say, "Look at there."
That's right. Maybe I was I was gonna have to pass this by maybe Pastor Gary and the elders of the winner the Sunday after.
Oh, here we go.
Can we bring our golden calf and set it next to us on the stage as worship is happening? Here's my fantasy
We'll work it
football.
out so that person can do the WWG.
That's
There you
right.
go. Just
Perfect.
hold it.
Yeah, there
the
you
whole
go.
time.
Just
Not,
hold it. Don't even
not
say-
reference it
In
or anything.
case
just
you
hold
wanted
it.
to know,
Yeah.
my pretend football team beat all these other guys' pretend football teams. So
Is it true? I heard from John Walker, the dad of James Walker.
Yeah.
That his team was all AI
it
picked.
was just you can
Random
auto
pick.
draft.
Auto draft,
And
yeah.
so again, the app isn't going to give you the worst guy. So it is a thing of like statistics, or they're just going to give you the average best player statistically in that auto draft.
My
But
auto
so
draft
did
did
you.
not work, and yours didn't work either.
That's just
right.
the nature
Yeah.
of where you sat. So he may have picked early though. So if he's picking early, that's
I want to recount.
yeah.
I want to recount. I'm throwing a red flag.
I threw a challenge flag to Ted when my one running back didn't get any yards, but he ran a kickoff back quite a ways.
Yeah, I didn't
And to
know
get-
that. I promise you, Pastor.
I looked. There's no setting for it.
Oh, it
so-
isn't? Okay.
Really?
Because yeah,
we
so
need
it was,
one.
I got ripped
There's
off
no
from
special
about
teams
40
points.
yards.
And that would have like doubled your yards.
Exactly.
Who played with the Chiefs that one week that they played against the Lions? That was they didn't get any calls on them.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that would have been a great game if you had any of the Chiefs in there.
Yeah.
I'm still ticked about that game. That game,
time.
I
Yeah,
almost
Don't bring
lost-
it up. My blood's boiling.
I lost my holiness on that game.
You know what? That's what gave them the juice for that last game they played. I believe it. They came out mad. And
They were tackling extra hard.
Yep.
Yeah, they're like, we're not making the mistakes
I think
now.
I think honestly they got some calls they wouldn't have got had that refs the week
I felt
before.
that too.
Got to pay it forward.
All I got to say is,
I
yeah,
think the NFL knew like
this is, well,
Detroit fans are ticked
the touchdown by Goff. I mean, I've heard
Yeah,
so many
I know.
debates about it, and they have played that video over and over again, and they're saying that he had to stop before he went into motion.
Right.
And he did. It shows that he like stopped for a
Yeah.
second and then went into motion. So I don't know why they
Well,
took that
did
away
you
from
hear
him.
what Tom Brady said? He was. I don't know that he was calling the game, but it was something after the fact, and he said, he goes, the NFL lost a little credibility today. And he's a part owner
Yeah,
of a
that's
team. Like
Tom Brady.
That's,
Yeah.
yeah. So you're like, oh boy, we got to like back this up.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the call. I mean, I wasn't happy with all the calls that happened at the game, but it was okay. It was
Yeah.
good. We're gonna take a 90 break. Come back with Hard Life Bubble trivia and Pastor Gary. Do you happen to have one?
I'm getting one ready now.
Oh my gosh! I just want to describe you today. They all know that I look like Mr. Rogers, but you look like you're ready to rob a bank.
I was sitting in a deer blind, and I like to black out when I'm sitting.
Oh,
in there,
okay,
and
yeah.
So that's why.
I'm just surprised you don't have like a black mark under your eyes.
Yeah,
and
face
you're like,
paint.
yeah, face paint, ready to go.
Couple crosses.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, he goes Rambo Commando.
You
when
should
he
do
goes
like
out
the
there.
eye black, then put your favorite Bible verse on the eye black.
Oh,
Like, wow,
yeah.
that'd be cool.
Like John 3:16, some
Yeah.
of the players are
Let's
wearing.
go.
That'd be awesome.
As the deer panted by the water.
There you go.
That would be a good one.
Come on.
Yeah. That preach. All right, we'll be right back.
Your day is about to get better. How do we know? Because you press play on the More podcast. You're welcome. We will be right back.
PG,
Yes.
do you have a question? Do
I
you
do.
remember the question from 2
I
weeks
don't
ago?
remember.
I don't either.
But I do have one for this week.
All right.
All right. So Peter's getting ready to walk on the water.
Yes.
Who instigates this miracle? Jesus or Peter?
Oh, good one.
Okay. Pretty
So
simple.
It's got to be the first
But-
person that says, I'm doing it.
So,
or I'm going to.
so who instigates the miracle? Jesus or Peter?
I got it.
Okay.
I got it.
Okay.
So if you know the answer, who instigated it?
Yep. So, and then we'll throw in a little bonus.
What's
right?
the- okay, it's a
The
bonus.
bonus is whoever instigated it. How does that impact you as a believer?
Oh, nice.
A little application here.
There you
to the
go.
trivia.
Yeah. I think,
Okay.
didn't somebody do a sermon on a boat? Oh,
Somebody did. I don't
somebody,
remember who though.
somebody did. Yeah. It had something to do with Peter. Yeah.
Had something to do with him. He was
Coming
kinda
out
like
yeah.
the main.
So somebody knows.
Yeah, Peter would have
really?
instigated it, right? He said, "Lord, if it's really you, tell me."
maybe.
The answer,
you know
the answer
what?
is yes, Peter.
So if you answered yes to Peter, you're already in the.
Everyone's a winner.
Everybody's a winner. So put your name
Was I
in.
not supposed to tell people?
No,
sir.
Hey, hey, first of all, nobody's telling me the rules.
We don't tell everybody the rules. It's okay.
Hey,
You're
if,
fine.
if there was a camera, I'd look at you right now and
Hunter's
say you're
name's
welcome.
going on the wheel of the insurance
Yeah.
wheel of destiny. This week.
Wilson
Yes.
Insurance. Yeah. Now your name is on the Wilson.
You get to win. You're the Bible
All right,
trivia
so
prize.
just for fun, even though we're kind of jumping ahead, so now that you answered the question
Sure.
correctly,
Sure.
how does that impact you as a believer?
Oh boy.
That's a good question.
Is it okay for you to ask Jesus for miracles in your life?
Certainly.
There we go.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah,
That's good.
And he did. He was on a boat in the church service.
Yeah.
That was a miracle that you found a boat to get on the stage.
Whose
for one.
boat was that?
That was one of my cousins, Phil Kilpatrick. He owns a salvage yard. And I
nice.
texted him. I said, "Hey, do you got a 10-foot boat?" He said, "I don't know. I'll look."
Is he down in Clarion?
No, he's up north. He's
Okay.
in like the Bliss area.
Okay.
So I made the trip, and it was hard to find a 10-footer, but we did it.
Yeah.
It looked
Why
great.
10 foot?
Yeah, it did.
What?
Yeah,
Why
it looked
10
good.
feet?
Because I didn't want to pull a trailer,
Oh.
and I didn't want it to
Practical.
be 14 feet
I
and
like
then
it.
have it.
Yep.
You know, it was already huge on the stage, right?
That was great.
So-
So you put that in
Looked
your
awesome.
minivan?
No, in the back of the old blue truck.
Oh, you got the blue truck running. That's good.
Yeah, she ran like a top. I never shut it off. I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
So I got
another miracle.
I got
Another miracle.
gas with it. Didn't shut it off. Probably should have, but I was like,
Don't.
Yeah,
Smart man.
don't do it.
Smart
Because once
man.
you shut it off, you never get it going.
you
again.
never feel good starting a truck that has a cord
Yeah.
hanging off the batteries.
Yeah,
right.
that's true. That is true.
It's supposed to work, yeah. Well, if you want to be a part of this Bible trivia, just send your answer that you've already heard the answer to HarborLightBibleTrivia@gmail.com, HarborLightBibleTrivia@gmail.com, all lowercase. And, well, you already know the answer, so just
The answer's
tell us.
Peter.
Yeah, it's Peter. So just send
that
it
in.
Yeah, and then you're
Let's
good
get
to
you
go.
playing this week.
And we'll get you on the wheel. Do we have a prize yet? I don't think.
Yeah,
oh,
we'll
cookies.
figure it out.
It's the cookies.
Yep.
We've never given those cookies away yet.
We have not.
But they're coming.
They are.
Yeah.
Yep.
Lisa K's home baked cookies, which you're
She
going to
made
want.
monster cookies for Liz.
Let's get her to make some more
birthday.
monster cookies.
Yeah, those were good.
Really good.
Good idea.
that was
With the salt on it?
Yep.
Oh, that was so
boy.
good.
Yeah.
That was
And
so
I
good.
was the first to answer the question.
That's
just
right.
So we're
You
clear.
get- you're on the board.
Yeah.
You're on the board. We do the wheel and we spin
Wheel
it.
of Destiny. Where is
wheel-
that wheel?
It's down in this bottom stairs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's
We'll
sitting
get it
there.
in
It's
here.
in the basement of the studio.
It's in the basement of the studio. So we'll get that to you. Well, all right. We'll be right back with Bible Talk. And we're going to talk to Pastor Hunter about the message that he brought last week. He's ready to go. He's got his Bible here, so we're good to go.
Long ago, in a church office not so far away, 3 men armed only with Bibles, microphones, and a questionable amount of coffee set out on a mission to make you laugh, make you think, and occasionally make you say, wait, was that even in the Bible? First, there was Gary, part pastor, part dad joke machine, and part mystery. Mostly because no one knows where he keeps finding those golf shirts. Then Ted, man of faith, man of wisdom, and man who once tried to fix the church copier with duct tape and a worship CD. And finally, Alex, he's the glue that holds it all together, mainly because he's the only one who actually knows how to work the record button. Together, they are the More Podcast, because sometimes a sermon just isn't enough. You need more.
Well, today we're stepping into Numbers chapter 11 and a message that hits home for everyone living in the in-between, not who we used to be and not yet who we were called to be. Pastor Hunter just challenged us with the idea of the middle seat, to the pull to go back when the path forward feels slow and the power of stacking simple. Holy moments. Did I say that right? The power of stacking simple holy moments. Yeah, there you go.
Chaining them together.
Chaining them together, yes. We're going to unpack how not to romanticize our old Egypts, how to keep moving when manna feels not enough, and how community helps us go forward, not back. Pastor Hunter, thanks for being here.
Yeah, of course.
Let's dive into it. So, Pastor Hunter, tell us a little bit about last Sunday and just kind of give us an overview.
Yeah, so we're doing Numbers 11, and we're talking about how the Israelites, they're out of slavery.
Yep.
You know, they've been set free, but they're not where they're supposed to be yet. And they're in the middle. They're frustrated because the manna's not enough. They want the old things they used to have, which is the meat and the leeks and the garlic and the onions. Sounds good.
Yeah. Amen.
That they used to have in Egypt. But they're forgetting about all the pain, all the frustration and sadness of their slavery, and just remembering the good things. And how we kind of talked about how the enemy will call us back to get us to romanticize what slavery was.
Yeah.
So that we don't go forward. My personal belief is because he's petrified of us going forward.
That's good. That's very
That
good.
is.
So why do you, thinking about Egypt, I mean, why do you think they romanticize about stuff? I mean, we're talking about slavery. We're talking about them getting beat, going through stuff, building bricks with less material than they started with. I mean, the list goes on and on and on, but why did they want to romanticize it and then like move it into our world why do we tend to do the same thing? Why do we tend to romanticize, the past and think that it was better than what we have now?
It's a good question. I think it's because we remember the good and then we forget about the bad. And so we'll remember, these exciting moments and we'll forget about the frustrating moments while we were sitting in the middle of it. And it takes time for that to happen, right? I think the Israelites when they got to that point, it had been a year and maybe even more than that when they started romanticizing what it was, because they forgot about the hardships. But it's also because what your past was, you don't know what your future is. So know what you were, everything and back in Egypt, they knew what was going to happen the next day. If there was anything that was consistent about their slavery, it was what they were doing. They were doing the same mundane job over and over and over again. Now, Pharaoh was purposely making their life hell by, they need to build with bricks, make your own bricks, and then now they don't even get straw to make bricks anymore. He's making their life horrible, but they knew what to expect, and they knew they were getting food, and they knew that they were being taken care of. And they don't know exactly what the next things are going to be moving forward with Moses in the desert.
Right?
Yeah.
I think it's good.
Have you guys ever heard the term Stockholm Syndrome? Mm-hmm. It's like you fall in love, like people who've been kidnapped or like captured. In Vietnam, it was a thing. Like you'd get captured and you fall in love with your captors, or you start siding with them. And like, I wonder if there's a spiritual Stockholm Syndrome to that.
I like that. That's
the idea that you do fall in love with comfort and what you know.
Well, I think a lot, like you said, a lot of it has to do with the flesh. I mean, the devil's going to always appeal to the thing that we've got the biggest fight with.
Yeah.
I think that's possible. But, it's interesting, though. I was thinking about the story in Numbers 11, about that. And I think that the idea of romanticizing, too, what you brought up, Pastor Hunter, is the fact that, the previous time did seem not always bad. Even in the struggles and stuff like that, you obviously forget it, but because it accommodated something that we're fighting against, which is the flesh on a regular basis. So, it's funny when it's not really funny, but when you hear people talking about back in my party days or back when, and it's like, dude, that was not good. I mean, you remember you trashed a car, you're arrested, but it spoke to something that was so base part of our sinful nature. And I think that is sometimes something that we romanticize about. We think it's kind of cool. But, I remember one time I was talking with a pastor friend of mine talking about the advancement of holiness, or we're talking about holiness and moving forward. And he's like, holiness is the mature look back at your history, and you realize that it's not where you wanted to be. You want to be where you're going. And so holiness begins to put on these adult goggles where you start looking at it and you're like, that was not a good thing. I don't want to be a part of it. And you want to advance forward. And it is a struggle. I think you're right. What you mentioned, not knowing the future, is I think the difficult part of the Christian journey is the fact that previously we have those memories, those things that we did. It's all stuff that's within our grasp. But to attain to the high calling of God, like Paul says, is something that seems to just always be there. We're not there yet. We're getting there. But it is something that we don't know exactly how it's going to be happening, how we attain to it. But it's something that we're called to do. And that is tough. That is a tough call, because you have to have a lot of faith knowing that God's going to help you get there, even though you don't know how you're going to get there. Yeah.
I've kind of noticed as we look back at our lives, especially with our children, and we'll remember some kind of a tragic or difficult situation, and they will actually have a nostalgia for that experience again, even though it was awful in the moment. For some reason, it's the thing they remember the most. And then they tend to pad it with a little bit of extra grace or mercy that wasn't there at the moment. And so it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. Those. So whenever I go on vacation and something bad happens, I call that adventure for my grandkids, but it's also the thing that they're going to remember. It's an embedded point in a memory. It's a point that you can go back to. And sometimes when everything is going great, it's very, even though it's wonderful, it just kind of is a monotone kind of approach. Right. And then all of a sudden you have this blip on the screen. The blip is the thing you remember. It's a point you can go back to. And so that's kind of interesting, the human psychology when it comes to romanticizing. Another one is, kind of, it's called rosy retrospect.
Yeah.
You have rosy colored glasses looking back at this situation.
Yeah. So we were talking about your sermon at my dining room table last night. And I like what you were saying, Pastor Gary, some of the things that I've shared in the past, I know Alex has shared this too, of just the struggle with mental health and depression and stuff. And there is that aspect of for mental health stuff of like, I would describe depression at times to people as it's a weird sense of familiarity. Right. And so again, and I believe in doctors and medication and all that stuff too. So I'm not trying to over spiritualize it, but there is this sense for me, I know the things that I need to do when I'm feeling that way. And there's this kind of blah that I don't need to, and it is this weird weighted blanket that I can kind of wear at times that's super familiar. And so I think when we think about spiritual slavery or spiritual just spinning our tires, trying to move forward and down the road of holiness, there is an aspect of familiarity that is so powerful. For sure. And I don't fully know how to address that all the time.
Yeah. I think there's power of like nostalgia with it too. Like, because nostalgia is interesting because it will unlock dopamine to your brain.
Right.
And so it makes you feel happy and good. But it's confusing, especially for a kid, because this is a bad memory. Right. But now I'm looking at it in the past. My brain's giving me dopamine, so I feel good. So how do I make this memory good? And then they start adding, parts of the story that it wasn't exactly how it was, but it's confusing because why do I feel happy about this bad memory? It's nostalgia. And it's really powerful. I think
because my kids laugh when they talk about me spanking them when they were kids. I'm like, it was not fun when it happened.
You were crying then.
Yeah, you're crying then, and it was not a good situation. It's not funny now. Yeah.
Yeah, how true is that for this story in Numbers 11, right?
Yeah.
I'm kind of looking up some different aspects about this. When we all share a common bad experience or difficult time, like they said, we would like to go back to the meat pots or the stew pots, right? It's also, there's a sense of social connection because you remember the same thing and you remember, now the four of us are all remembering the same thing. And then that builds a little, kind of teamwork connected to a bad situation. So it's also an aspect.
And you can now, I don't want to jump too far ahead, but you can see the hard work the Lord has to do to his people to get them ready for the promised land now.
Oh, yeah.
Like this is why we're going to spend 40 years in the desert right here, boys, right? Like you have had this shared experience. You have a communal experience. This is ingrained in your being. The only identity that you know is slavery. And now, Yahweh, your God, is going to have to chisel that off of you and make you into something new, make you into his people. That's a lot of work.
Well, and that leads you to the whole idea of what we're talking about here, because there's nowhere in this story where God says, I'm going to make you, he says, you're going to be my holy people in the mountain, but he never takes out a magic wand and says, boom, now you're holy.
Yeah.
It's the process of them learning through this whole thing. And they had to do that because of these things.
Right.
But we're talking about them being in the desert for another 40 years.
And that's the reason, right?
Yeah.
The reason for 40 years
they had
is
to,
this.
Because they weren't getting it.
Right.
Right. And I think if you would have said, okay, now you're going over to the promised land, it would have been disaster.
Right.
And it's disaster for us if we think we're moving forward in this idea of holiness and God's just going to give us a magic wand touch and then all of a sudden we're holy. We have not learned anything. We've not understood who we are. We don't understand the reason why we need to be what we need to be. Just because he gives us that name, that we're holy people, doesn't necessarily mean we understand that yet. There's a lot to be dealt with. A lot of things that we've brought into this mix through our past and the things we've been a part of and, relationships and all those stuff that we got to work through. Yeah.
It's a dangerous lie because, I think for our listeners listening, it's a dangerous lie because for them, they're not becoming holy people. They're stuck in the middle and they're frustrated. And why holiness is such a dangerous lie for us is because there isn't that magic wand moment where it's like, boom, now all of a sudden, they're in the midst of the process. But when people think that that's supposed to happen, then instead of committing to the process and being comfortable and honest with the process, they would rather hide all the things that, they don't want people to see. And then what ends up happening is that grows in their life to this uncontrollable monster.
Yeah.
That now they can't even control this anymore. Right. And it was all centered around, they think they have to be.
Right.
And that everybody else is.
Yeah.
And so they don't actually ever get real and honest with what they're walking through, and they end up going back.
Right. Yeah.
Which is the
Interesting question here. This is for Pastor Ted.
Oh, here we
so
go.
you just mentioned that they had to wander for 40 years.
Yeah.
So why did they have to wander for 40 years? Do you know the answer?
Oh, it's a good.
Well,
one.
I mean, I think part of the wandering was God's preparing the people for the promised land.
That's true. But there's a second element to it.
Okay.
They were spying out the land for 40 days.
Right.
And because they came back with a negative report, they wandered 1 year for every day that they had been on the spy.
Wow.
There you go.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Maybe that could be when he gave the answer. I was going to say we can use that for
that'll be the
Hunter was right on the edge of his seat. He was going to answer it before Pastor Ted when I was asking him.
Yeah, man.
I almost had another question.
I thought it was, hey, everything's a competition. You don't win.
Free for all here.
Yeah, right. Oh, we're just throwing everything out the window now.
Yeah.
You know, you got into this. Well, it's sort of part of the series, but you got into this idea that holiness is more of a series of holy moments. Getting back to this idea that it doesn't happen by a magic wand, but there are moments that we build up on each other, link them together, as Pastor Gary said, that help us begin to understand what holiness is about. And the more we do, the stronger the chain gets. The longer we go, the more we are able to accomplish. Can you explain that just a little bit for us about this idea of holy moments that help us move to this direction we're trying to get to?
Yeah, right. So, it's impossible for us to understand this idea of I need to live a holy life. I think that's this huge, gigantic feeling.
Yeah.
And so, but I can live a holy moment, and I can do one moment. I can handle that.
Yeah, that's good.
And so that's a truth that people need to hang on to, is that, hey, don't think too far ahead. Let's think of the next moment and then walk in obedience in that moment. I think some people are trying to, live out this big grand scheme, and it's like, hey, let's take it one step at a time.
Yeah.
And one bite at a time, and then don't overwhelm yourself with way too much, right? And I think people who are trying to get into the gym, don't worry about this whole big, hey, I need to work out, and lift this much weight. No, just go to the gym one day, and just be in the gym. Like, just take one step at a time, and you put those together, and you might find yourself, living some holy days and some, some consistency there.
Yeah, that's good.
That is good.
Yeah, and I think you're right. I mean, it's tough to have this mindset that we're supposed to be holy people, and so we've got to just follow all these rules without mistake, and we put ourselves right back in the same bondage that the children of Israel fought for quite a while in their history. They just never attained to it. They never could make it happen. And then what is the result? Well, we try to find ways to make it easier because it's too heavy of a burden to carry that way, because it's not something that we really are ever created to carry in that way. And so we try, and then we create this environment where we're just defeating ourselves every second we turn around, and then we blame God. We blame God, and that's the one thing I think is interesting is when people start talking about holiness and not attaining to what they need to. It seems like God always gets in trouble, like he did something wrong. Like, why aren't you making this better? Why aren't you helping me with this? Well, so those little small steps of obedience, those little small steps of moving forward in holiness, that help you become what you need to be. And when you accomplish those things, then God says, okay, let's move on to the next thing. But it helps you in your faith journey because it establishes you. It gives you ground to walk on before you didn't, And so I think you're right. I think it's so important to start seeing that. So how would you coach somebody that is trying to start this process?
Yeah,
how's it look like?
Holy moments. Yeah.
How does it look like on Monday? After
sure.
you just got done preaching this.
Just an ordinary, you have an ordinary Monday. What does it look like to have a holy moment? We're going to start the day with a prayer. And we're going to say, God, I am open to the moments that you put in front of me. Would you give me the eyes to see them, the ears to hear them, so that I'm looking for these, right? Because you'll find what you're looking for. And if you're looking to, get mad at somebody, you're going to find that. But if you're looking for moments where you can have a holy moment and you can glorify God, you're probably going to find them. So you're opening up the door for God and the Holy Spirit. He's a gentleman, right? To work. And then when you feel that sense of, I need to do this, especially if it's a home run. And I would consider home runs like this. You're going to pray for somebody. You're going to encourage somebody. You are going to, you're going to spread the gospel with somebody. So all those are absolute home runs. And if you do those, that's 100% a holy moment. You don't need to put a ton of thought into that, right? It's like, I'm going to go and pray for somebody. Yeah, God wants us to do that. He wants us to go and make disciples, right? And so you're going to look for those moments. Yeah, PG.
Yeah, I really, really super appreciated your illustration of the 3 chairs. And something that you shared, and I'd like you to kind of expound on it a little bit more. The one chair is where I used to be. This is the chair I'm right now. But this is the chair I want to be, right? I'm not where I want to be, but I'm not who I used to be. That was beautiful and created a wonderful tension. I think that in marriage, as well as our walks with the Lord, sometimes we don't celebrate the middle chair enough. We need to celebrate. In marriages, I see this a lot, where maybe a woman is not happy with where her husband is, but he's not the husband he was last year.
Yeah.
And he's not the husband that she's hoping for in the future, but she doesn't seem to celebrate the fact that he's not in that chair.
Right.
Yeah.
He's in this chair.
Yeah.
Let's celebrate that, which will inspire him to move forward.
For sure.
Would you like to talk a little bit more about that?
And I think I said it in the message. I said, it's crazy because 5 years ago, you would have never imagined you'd have been sitting in church. But look at you now.
Yes.
Look how far you've come. And so, we need to celebrate that you've walked forward, and we need to celebrate those wins, because small wins over time are giant wins, right? 100 steps over a year is a long ways, right? But they're small, and so you can miss those. And so, celebrating the small wins, of course. Every step is a good step as long as we're going towards, becoming more like Jesus, right? And so we need to celebrate those. It's very good.
Yeah, I think if you celebrate the middle chair, it will have you leaning into the next chair and leaning away from this nostalgic, let's go back to the old chair.
Right.
That's good.
Right? But when you're being criticized in the middle chair, you're going to push away from the forward chair and go to the chair from
that
the
preach
past.
right there. That's good.
Yeah, that's
because
right on the money.
because when you feel like there's no path forward, people will tend to go back. And so it's like, man, I can never get there, so I might as well just go back.
Well, and the greatest teachers you've ever had, the greatest coaches you've ever had have been celebrators. They've been people who've given you examples and seen, and within our faith, right? Testify what God's done in your past. You can see it. That's going to be a motivator for you.
For sure.
And I think that's an important thing we bring up here, is that we have to be a people that look for those things too. I think that's hard when we're in the mix of it with everyone else, is to look for those opportunities to celebrate those things. I mean, I think that's one of the things that the devil likes to do well, is to get us so caught up in our mess that we're blinded to the fact of the things we should be celebrating in people's lives, if it comes to the husband or whatever. And we need to do that. We need to be willing to do that more. And it's, it's interesting when you look at the story of the children of Israel. I mean, God tried many times to let them see how much he loved them, how much he cared about them, how much he had all these plans for them. And there's more of that than there is, I'm going to smite you, you guys, I don't like you anymore, but it's just so cool. One of the things I thought was interesting when you look at the story, we talk about the things that are holiness on Monday. Isn't it interesting that holiness in the context of the children of Israel also included rules on how to pick up the manna, when not to store it, when to store it. There were all these different little things. And so for me, when I read that, sometimes I think about it and I'm like, holiness also includes a lot of practical things in your experience as well. How you operate in everyday life. Like, we always think God's concerned with the divine aspects of our person, but he's also concerned about the little things that amount up to holiness, is our actions with other people, interactions with the family, interactions with people that we work with. Those things are just as important, So when we talk about, later on, Paul talks about the fruits of the Spirit, when we start enacting those things in our lives, those begin to help us to establish those holy moments as well by our interactions with people and how we deal with life. So, do you think that's, in your opinion, do you think that's something that people can start working on too as well? I mean, maybe they're not the evangelist. Maybe they're not the person that, has a bumper sticker on their car that says, I'll tell you about Jesus.
Sure.
Those practical things, do you think those things are important as well?
Absolutely. Yeah. I think if you're a professing Christian and you're in the workspace, I think you should come to work. I think you should be on time. I think you should have the best attitude in the workplace. You should be the most encouraging person in the workplace. You should be the one who's not gossiping, the one who's walking away from those things. And they should see that you're different. And all those are small steps, but those are all big holy moments, right? They should see, like, man, there's something different about this guy.
Yeah.
I love, like, the people in your work should love coming to work and being around you, because you're loving and you're full of joy and you're caring, right? They should feel those things about you.
Yeah.
And those are small things, right? You wouldn't necessarily think they're a big deal, but they add up over time for people.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's good. Very good. Okay, so we did talk about that idea of the middle seat being uncomfortable and slow, But where's the line between godly contentment in the process and complacency? And what indicators tell you it's time for a risky, faith-filled next step to the next chair?
Oh man, that's a great question. I think that's one that you got to walk through with a lot of discernment to figure out whether, hey, it's time for me to go forward with this. I think for our listeners, if you've been feeling something in your spirit for a certain amount of time, and then you have people start confirming it to you, then it might be time to say, all right, I'm going to take this big step, right? You've been feeling something, and a random person comes up to you and says something that confirms that. You might start to think, all right, God might be trying to get something across to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think Pastor Hunter's idea there that we talked about during the trivia question, it's okay to ask the Lord, call me out of this boat, call me out of this chair, call me to the next chair. And when you say it, I will walk on your call. And so I think it's a great time to if you're in that middle chair, to ask the Lord to call you out of that place into the next one.
Yeah, and I think you're so right. I think that, it's interesting because there is a temptation, right, to jump the gun, to move forward when you're not supposed to yet. I think if Peter would have gotten out of that boat any other way without having it be the way it was, played out.
If he would have went out without the word of Jesus saying, come,
Right.
he would have been
doing it on his own power.
Right.
And he would have went right to the bottom.
And I think it's interesting that you bring that up, because that, to me, is the crux of the problem with when we talk about the subject of holiness, is that we read the scriptures, we hear pastors preach, and we study the word, and we try to make that leap out of the boat on our own strength without Holy Spirit saying, okay, let's do it now. Let's make it happen. And that's why we're sinking. That's why we're having the frustration. That's why we're having people going, this stuff is crap. What are you talking about? Holiness, because we're trying to do it on our own. We're not there yet.
Yeah. Peter didn't walk on the water. He walked on the word of God.
Right. Oh, that's good. They'll preach. That's a sermon right there.
Yeah.
Put it out there. Yeah. And I think you're right. I think that's the issue. I think that is the thing that we have to keep in mind in this whole process, because if we're going to try to move in our own strength, we're going to find ourselves constantly frustrated, trying to attain to a level that we're not called to yet, because there's things that God's got to work out in our lives. I mean, there's no way that I can make the next step forward in my own Christian journey if I'm not fully finished or dealt with whatever that is that I need to deal with moving forward, or prepared to do that, because then I'm just setting myself up for failure. And again, getting back to what we talked about earlier, that's why we blame God. It's like, God, why would you do this to me? Well, God didn't do it to you. You did it on your own. But God is asking you to do certain things. So look for those things, like you mentioned, those things that are the holy moments, those things that you could attain to, that God is calling you to, and that sensitivity to what God's saying in your life. Yeah. Well, you compared Pharaoh chasing Israel to a real enemy calling us back. Beyond personal resolve, what communal structures, small group accountability, church life, service rhythms, actually keep people from going back? And which have you seen work best at Harbor Light so far?
Sure. Yeah. So I first want to mention, the people in your life matter when it pertains to being in the middle seat, right? Especially if you got a lot of people who you're still in the circle with, and they have a lot of influence over you, and they're in that chair of who I used to be, and they're calling you back into it. One of the things I didn't mention in the sermon is, verse 4, it says the rabble began to crave other food. Well, the rabble are people who were in slavery who weren't Israelites. And so I think that's for us. It's people who, they're not Christians, and we've walked out of that lifestyle, but they still have huge influence over us. And they're reminding us of what we used to have, but they're only telling you the good things.
Yeah, right.
You remember the meat, you remember the leeks and the onions, and then you're like, I do.
Yeah.
Wow, man, you're right. I have been lonely not going to bars.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go again.
Yeah.
Right. They'll pull you back. So the people around you matters, which is why getting in a church community is so powerful. I think for me at Harbor Light, what's I think the most powerful is probably our small groups.
Yeah.
Really, really, really powerful. To hold you accountable, and people who are they're encouraging you when they see you make your holy moments, and they're encouraging you to walk forward in that, right?
Yeah.
So that's important. It's very similar to what Pastor Gary said. I think it's also one thing to mention is the way at Harbor Light, the way we celebrate baptisms. I think is special, right? Because that's really crossing the Red Sea is really their baptism in a lot of ways.
Yeah, that's good.
This is this public. I'm no longer a slave. I'm walking through it. Yeah. What's special about their baptism, going through the Red Sea, they can't go back even if they wanted to.
Right, yeah.
they'd have to go across on a boat, right? Like you're not going to walk through that again.
Yep.
And so, when we celebrate people who are getting baptized, they're saying it's a public declaration, but it's also us as a church saying, hey, you're a Christian, we can hold you accountable, and we can say, hey, this is you've committed to this, and God called you to more than going back to that seat, right? And so people matter, your small group matter, so you need to get in a good one so they can have some accountability in your life. It's important.
Yep.
Yeah, I think you're right on the money. Yeah, I think the move forward with as I notice here in the church too, it's just amazing how we have such a wide group of people have come from different walks of life.
Yep.
And yet we still are such an encouraging group of people. I think that is one of the cool things about us is that we're not here saying, well, I'm better than you are now, because I've been walking with the Lord for a while.
Sure.
We've got a lot of coaches, and it's nice that we have that. And I think people sense that, people sense the fact that, nobody's here pointing fingers at you and saying, well, you haven't arrived, so you're not in the club.
Yep.
You're here, you're part of it.
Yeah. Well, I think it can happen really quickly where Christians turn into like this witness protection program and they're trying to pretend like, hey, I've always been this way.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
That's not Harbor Light.
No.
Right. You got people who have said, hey, I came out of the muck.
Yeah.
And he got me out of there. He can get you out of there too. Right. I know he can.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so another practical thing I think is free life. We've
free life. Sure. That's a good one.
We've got a really good program here at Harbor Light that happens in the winter every year. And if you're looking for a group of people that are going to support you and encourage you in your faith and help you grow in the Lord, Free Life is a great ministry for you.
Yeah, a place you don't hide.
That's right.
You kind of just open up. Yeah. Well, Peachy, you're preaching next week, aren't you?
I am. And Pastor Hunter and I were talking about it a little bit. Why don't you go ahead and kind of set the stage for people with what you feel might be coming next in the series?
In the series, yeah. So next, what I think, I don't want to steal too much of what I think Pastor Gary's sermon is going to be about, right? Of course, so still come out to it. It's going to be about, hey, how does these holy moments affect the world?
Oh, yeah.
Right?
I like it.
And so it's a win-win-win, right? So God's winning, you're winning, people are winning. There's 3 wins here. So every holy moment you have, you're growing, but also people are seeing what you do. And so whether you are the person who you're just the beginning stage of somebody accepting Christ, or you're, me or Pastor Gary or any of the pastors on staff who maybe you're preaching a sermon and somebody decides, hey, I'm going to follow Christ and say yes, you're a part of that. Yeah. So whether it's that early moment where your grandkid is seeing you read the Bible, that's one holy moment that's changing their life. And then it's 10 years later when they remember, man, I remember my grandpa getting in the Word. That was important to him. And then they come to church and Pastor Gary's talking about the Bible and he's like, this was important to my grandpa, so I need to listen. And then they listen, and then the gospel gets inside their heart, and now they're saved. Not one is more important than the other. Yeah. Right. And it all happens because of holy moments. We want to change Petoskey. We want to change the world. It's holy moments.
Yeah, that's good.
So come to week 4. It's going to be good.
Yep. Is that the answer?
That's where we're going.
I hope that's where you're going. Right. If not,
he's been on a roll today so far, and I'm thinking that he's got to have the answer.
Well, we were kind of joking that sometimes when you do these series like this, it's really hard to stay in your lane.
It is.
Right? And he was getting excited from last week, and he kept wanting to get in my lane.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Stay off my lane.
I was close. Actually, it was Friday, and I was like, I wrote this sermon and I'm like, I can't preach this because it's just Pastor Gary's week 4. So I had to close that up and put something else together because I'm like, I can't do this to my guy. I've only been here for 2 months.
It doesn't matter though. I mean, even if you did, he'd come in.
He's been doing it long enough.
He'd come in and he'd be like, I'm going to take it to the next level. And then he does.
Sure.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Well, that's it for us. Again, thanks for being here with our More podcast. Hunter, thanks for being on here.
Thanks for the invite. Man, this was great.
Yeah. Now we have you a spot.
Yeah.
So you can come more often.
And then next week you guys can bring your Bibles. So
here we go. Here we go.
I think get some accountability there.
Yeah, come on.
It's good.
Come on.
All right. We'll talk to you later.
We want you to know, find, discover, change with us. More podcast ending transmission now.